All right, we're live.
We're live. It's the Spinnin Backfist show for UFC 284. Today is February 10th, Friday, February 10th. It is Robbie Fox, Big Ev, and Jack Mack who will be joining us in just a second. He just sending the show live. And we are here, like I said, to talk about UFC 284 today. A huge card, pound for pound, battle of the champions. Islam Makhachev versus Alexander Volkanovski. Thank God I remember both of their names.
You remember his name.
Right? Dana getting a lot of shit for that this week. They're getting a lot of shit for not promoting the fight enough. But I said on the last show, we'll come on here. We'll promote the fight.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, guys, I think this may be our first tech-free episode in a while.
Bro, we're not even a minute into the episode. Don't say that yet.
We talked to the tech guys, tried to troubleshoot, and we're crystal clear right now.
Right now, I believe the stream looks good.
I'm gonna
Logan
move the
DeWolf,
cursor,
our
though,
boy,
because
says it
it's
looks
like-
good. Yeah, it's blocking the chat a little bit, but yeah, hopefully this is the new norm for the Spinnin Backfist show. Just a crystal clear show every week. I could actually put my laptop on my lap, which is nice. I mean, I'm probably taking down my semen count by doing this, but you know,
It's all right.
it is what it is. It's not like I'm putting it to use anyway, you know. Join.
Never know.
Well, you never know. Join the chat, join the discussion. Make sure you like the video, make sure you comment and everything. And let's talk about the card. Well, also wanted to bring up slap fighting.
Yeah, slap fighting is through the roof. #1 show on all television.
We're all watching it at this point.
It's the #1 show in America, I think.
I'm starting to get pulled in. The reality aspect is what's pulling me into slap fighting. I'm still enjoying that more than the actual competition, I feel like. And this week we got some fighting in the house because they started drinking, which is always like a highlight of the Ultimate
Do you
Fighter.
think there's drugs in the house?
Maybe.
I mean,
There's so many.
there's got to be weed and edibles and shit like that.
I
It's
was
legal
thinking
in
more
it's
like,
legal in Vegas.
Yeah, more like, hard drugs.
I don't think so because
guys
there's so
are
many
psychos.
cameras around.
I know.
Yeah, I'm more, what I like about it too is, well, I think it's going to get interesting is that I think with them, you don't have to be like, obviously they are doing some training and stuff. They don't really have to be in this like crazy shape. So like, they can go get boozed up and like go win a slap fight the next day. Like, no problem.
And like we have talked about, some of the dudes are just skinny, and that like almost gives me hope for future fights where I'm like, if I ever have to get into a bar fight, maybe I land a slap in the right spot and I put someone out before anything. One of those clubbing blows, like that guy, the guy who said he got into it because his girlfriend left him. He fought Slap Jesus last week.
Yeah. What's his name?
Was his name Jesus too? Is Jesus versus Jesus or Jesus versus Jesus?
Pedro maybe or something.
Pedro, yeah, he's Hispanic.
That guy has like pretty skinny ass arms.
Yeah.
And he is a motherfucker when it comes to the slaps.
Well, hopefully, you know how they did the whole combine?
Yeah.
Maybe
they measured all their stuff, and the clips of like, it almost looked like they were doing the golf swings when people are like,
they were like getting that, like using that perfect form. Get the hips in it,
getting the form, getting the slaps on the padding and everything.
His name was it was Jesus. You're right.
It was Jesus versus Jesus.
I will say, I hope at the end, like they have somebody. You remember old school sports science on ESPN?
Yeah.
I would love a breakdown of the perfect slap contestant or power.
Forrest
slap.
Griffin should do it.
Yeah, and be like wear a polo, power slap.
But they literally test the strength of like your neck and your chin.
Yeah, they were doing that.
Makes sense.
The thing they were like push forward, push forward, push forward, push, and they were like, you could see they were trying but couldn't get anything, couldn't move that thing an inch.
Well, the last one was crazy. I thought that was one that really could hook fans. It was like I thought the big underdog won. He got the slap first.
Oh
yeah, the guy he's super tatted up and he just looks like a brick shithouse.
Yeah,
a monster. Like guy that pretty much if he goes first, he's gonna win.
Yeah.
And then he went second, but the guy kind of hit him with a shitty slap at first, but it was a foul.
Yep.
And he caught him with the next one. His legs were literally fucking shaking.
Yeah. There were a couple fouls.
That was interesting because then it gets weird because obviously there's the element. The only element that can be annoying is that like the guy doesn't get to slap back if he just gets hit with a big one.
Yeah.
Because I think that guy easily puts him out. Like if he gets to like rebuttal or whatever. And I don't know if you saw it, the guy that knocked him out was like talking shit to him like while he was like on the ground. It was so funny because he was getting so mad. Like he's like, "What's he saying?" And the guy he goes, "Bro, they won't let me up." He's like, "It was so funny." But he was a big underdog. He went there, he slapped the fuck out of him.
The fouls are also like, it's not like the fouls are an issue because I know it's the newest sport you could ever imagine. But like the last couple weeks, we've seen fouls, and it's tough when you commit a foul but smack the shit out of your opponent, and then it's like your foot slightly came up, you're DQ'd, you knock the guy out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like it's just creates a weird scenario.
Yeah, I feel like I've
and
noticed
it's very likely.
It's been more flinching. Like the guy,
the flinching.
They go they turn their head, or
the one guy couldn't stop.
I think there is a way. I think there is a way to like brace it if you time it like perfectly. But
to roll with it.
If you're too early, I think if you go with it, they were explaining a little bit on. I think maybe the second one that if you go with it like the perfect time, it will take some impact away. But if you go early, like you fouled, like you flinched basically. But this way, if you can time it where just as he's hitting you, you kind of like go with it, the impact is not quite as powerful.
Yeah, I'm trying to read
a little bit of like a skill to it, I guess.
Trying to read the chat, see what the chat thinks about power slap. Are people in on power slap?
So, who King Jappy Joe is, some of the redneck Jesus? I think that's the guy who I think is my favorite. I think
he's good.
I love that guy.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna win.
Redneck Jesus is that slap Jesus?
No, he the guy who I'm talking about. I believe he's referring to the guy I was talking about who knocked the guy sideways.
Oh yes. Who
just has, like, insane power for like the lower weight class.
You're right.
I think that's who he's talking about. He is cocky, but he's a monster.
No technical issues yet.
6 minutes in, very good.
Power slaps.
So this is Slap Jesus.
Yes.
And then
he's the one that I predicted, and this is all due respect to Slap Jesus. No disrespect, Matt. I predicted he'll murder someone in the next 5 years. Well, he held out on a crouton.
His name basically is Redneck Jesus. He's my favorite guy on the show. I can't remember what his name is either. Or maybe he was referring to Slap Jesus.
Maybe he was.
I want Redneck Jesus to be knocked out. He's too cocky. Well, he is like
he might be referring to the actual cocky. Slap Jesus.
Yeah, and Slap Jesus did come in like as someone that was known in the slap
world community.
Before we started, our tech guy Jason we started talking about slap before the show started, and our tech guy Jason is a power slap historian,
an aficionado, a true aficionado.
He's like, I've been watching for a very long time.
He told us about this guy, Vasily,
the dumpling.
Yeah, the dumpling. He was like, you got to check out this guy, the dumpling. Told us about Slap Mountain. Also told us about car seat fighting.
Hashtag Nadu's in the chat.
Shout out Nadu. Thanks for being in the show,
and
Jeff.
If you're in here, check out the sit down. He does a lot on the mafia stuff, but also he's been doing more other crime. I'm a big true crime guy, so I really like his YouTube videos.
He might be covering Slap Jesus in 5 years.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, the car seat fighting is you and your opponent get in the front seat of a car, you buckle in, and then they're like, go. And he said it's like submissions allowed. You get to choke the person out with a seatbelt and shit.
I think Lee has posted it on.
We've posted phone booth fighting, which was like the most viral clip I think the account's ever had.
It's one of the most viral clips our network at Barstool Sports has ever had. It was like it broke Twitter. Every time you went to the tweet, it went up like 5,000 likes.
It's our pinned tweet still. If you go to Spinnin Backfist on Twitter, you could watch the phone booth fight. It's pretty insane. If you haven't seen it, it's kind of a must watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, that's slap. It's winning me
Frivola
over.
replied to the infamous phone booth fight and said, "Needs to see a turnaround flying knee to start one of these."
Oh, that would be nuts. It would be hard though to you would have to jump straight up and almost have your opponent leaning down, right? I don't know. I'm not a phone booth fighter.
Some news before we start. Oliveira Dariush. That should be fun.
Is that fight booked official?
Yeah. His Charles's coach basically confirmed it.
When you were in what do you call it last night? It got
Creed?
booked. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw Creed 3. It was sick.
So it'll be the what is it, the June pay-per-view, I believe.
May.
It'll be May pay-per-view.
Perfect.
I mean, I feel like that fight was like, what other fight you gonna make?
Yeah.
At the top.
Yeah.
Clear number one contender fight.
Yep.
Don't see who else will get the next shot at lightweight.
Dan Hooker's out, unfortunately.
Yeah,
that sucks.
I really hope they get Turner a good. I mean, they have, I guess, a little less than a month.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a bit. That's on the main. That's a main card fight. Hopefully, they get someone decent to fill in.
That Hamzat clip was really funny.
The Hamzat clip of him talking about Whitaker, or that
this one where they just gave him names and he just reacted.
Oh,
seen it?
Talk to the
where he goes. Colby Covington.
Colby
Clown. Fake gangsta. Good fighter.
Okay.
Scared boy.
Did he not say anything about Shavkat?
No, he said good fighter.
Okay.
Robert Whitaker, he said good boy. And then
Good boy.
Sean Strickland, he said funny guy.
Oh, Strickland's back on Twitter, by the way.
Yes,
He is a wrecking ball on Twitter.
So his first tweet back, I was like, oh, I'll quote tweet on Spinning Backfist. But then I got to the second part of the tweet and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to tweet out from Spinning Backfist. Sean Strickland's back on Twitter because I don't think our account needs to get into what he was talking about in his first tweet.
Luke V, look at the guys on the screen, yet they trash fighters. We've never trashed a fighter, ever.
Can't recall.
I believe we have been more respectful to the sport of mixed martial arts and the sweet science and all of that than anyone in the history of covering sports.
Without question.
Yeah. It's like
No
Slap
jokes.
is #1 television show in America right now.
Yeah.
We are #1 respecter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's just fake news.
Also, Robbie would probably beat up half the UFC anyway. But we don't say that because we're so respectful.
I would never point that out to them.
No,
because that
it wouldn't be
disrespectful.
respectful of us.
It seems like I'd be pointing out how
He
above I
actually
was.
submits us after every show.
Just to keep everyone humble.
Yeah.
Yes.
Slap a rear naked
Robbie,
choke on.
Yeah, I mean, he heel hooked to me last week and still limping around a little.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some fighters that I've done it to that came in for interviews. They were a little tense in the
Volk
room.
caught the heel hook.
Yeah.
Well,
Aljo got put the Aljo got shut down.
Ortega literally.
We weren't supposed to say that about either of those fighters. We signed NDAs with them.
That is
You're
true.
right.
Fuck.
I did.
Cut the stream.
Any other news before we get into the card?
I was just going through.
Obviously we talked about McGregor last time. I was trying to think any other big fights got announced that were worth discussing at all.
The Katie Taylor Amanda Serrano rematch is trying to be put together in Ireland. We didn't mention that.
I
on the
thought
last
Serrano
one.
isn't she fighting soon though? Someone else?
I think
Didn't she
Serrano's
fight
trying to
last
fight.
night?
She just fought.
She
on
just fought.
Saturday?
So
Or
she just
last
fought.
week.
They brought Katie Taylor into the ring.
Okay,
And they kind of did a thing. They both had the titles. They're trying to put it together in Ireland. I believe they want to do Croke Park, which has always
That'd be
been
cool.
like,
That'd be
McGregor.
Oh, Holloway Allen. But I think we talked about that last time.
Maybe if we didn't, I'll say.
And it's in
Dress, great
Kansas
fight.
City.
Sick fight.
Yeah, Kansas City. That's also the Billy Q. Barbosa's on that card. I
I
believe.
think Kansas City will put together a great crowd.
Oh,
I'm really excited for that. Sadabu Kakramanov got caught, which was very weird. I thought was a massive prospect. We just saw him against Saeed Nurmagomedov. Saeed caught him with a standing guillotine at the end of the second round, but Sadabu looked really good. He beat Ronnie Lawrence.
He dominated Ronnie Lawrence
before the last.
That was what put everyone on notice.
Yeah,
he manhandled Ronnie Lawrence.
And Sadabu's only loss has been to Umar Nurmagomedov, I think,
in PFL.
And PFL. I was really surprised by that, but maybe there's something else going on that we don't know about.
I was thinking that the way he tweeted about it and kind of was like, I don't have the tweet verbatim in front of me, but it was kind of complaining about the UFC not giving him enough fights, it seemed.
Well, no, I believe what he said was
I never had fair shake.
He set them up to fail, pretty much is what he said.
All right, before you see my name on the UFC roster watch, LOL. UFC released me after one loss, SMH. I never had fair shake in the UFC, 3 fights almost in 2 years. Every time I walked into cage, it felt like my debut. Shit, 3 fights in 2 years feels like they brought me in to lose.
What does that mean? 3 fights in 2 years? Like,
I think he wanted to fight more. I guess he's saying it's not enough.
But
for someone
also,
of his stature,
English is his second language. Maybe he didn't say it properly.
Doesn't that seem like, unlike the UFC, if a guy like that is like, I want to fight, usually they put them on these cards.
Yeah, well,
was it that people weren't accepting the fights with him, and it was hard to put together the matchups?
I think it's like if you live in America, it's so much easier to get a fight like that because
for sure,
because you don't have visa issues, you don't have anything like that. Not that Sadabu did, but if you're in America,
wasn't he trained in America though?
Maybe he was.
He trains with McKinney. I'm pretty sure because I know McKinney loves him.
So then,
I think he trains where McKinney trains. I could be wrong, but
I'm gonna look at him up
because I know they're very good friends. He said, there's 2 things we could talk just for a second. I saw someone asked about the O'Malley because O'Malley said on McAfee show that he was fighting for the belt. I thought that was established already.
Same,
but I mean, pretty much, I guess he made it clear his next fight will be for he's gonna wait. If Aljo Pseudo fight, essentially, he said he's waiting.
He should.
You're right.
He's at the point where he should.
fighting out of Spokane, Washington, which is where
Yeah, I knew they were
Terrence-
close.
Yeah, so like that's the one thing, and I obviously don't know the behind the scenes stuff, but it would surprise me if the UFC wasn't like offering him fights.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
They're like Dana always his famous line he loves to say, we owe you 3 fights a year. Like we offer everyone 3 fights a
Yeah.
year. That's what.
And then
everyone
doesn't
is
he
owed.
says like if I don't, I have to pay them. I think
think
it's-
so. Yeah. Like
I think if you
yeah,
don't, he has to pay the extra
pay out
whatever.
the contract or whatever.
Bryce Mitchell really won. Yeah, I mean that's Bryce Mitchell's fault. Like he talks insane.
Oh, what did he have? He had something.
Did
the
he
other
say
day.
like another theory?
Oh, it was the weather balloon thing. Did you see his video about the weather balloon?
No, but I'll go check it out.
He was basically saying, it was being sent over here to take our guns, and then if it gets over Arkansas, he's like, I'm gonna shoot that motherfucker down. It was pretty funny. He's like, you can't stop me. I'm shooting it down. It makes me laugh because Buddha Ben is a huge Bryce Mitchell fan, always has been since his debut. So whenever he'll put up a video like that, Buddha's the first guy I go to. I send it to him. I'm like, you got to check out your boy Bryce right now. Buddha loves Bryce Mitchell and Chael Sonnen. Those are his 2 guys. Buddha watches every video Chael Sonnen puts on YouTube.
Thug Rose. We haven't seen Thug Rose in a while.
I'm not shocked she's taking.
Come on, out, Jack. You
She's-
agree with Mitchell on the
Thug
balloon?
Rose
I didn't
is
even
about
watch
to do
it.
a grappling match, I think.
Yes, I think I saw it. She's
Wasn't it with Gina or with
Jillian
with
Robertson.
Jillian
maybe?
Robertson, yeah.
Didn't it already happen?
Jillian
Might have,
Robertson,
honestly.
low key stooly. At least a
her.
rough and rowdy fan.
God bless.
I know she likes rough and rowdy. I don't even know
Also,
if she
I
knows
was
it's
a couple
Barstool.
things in the chat. Someone said Cheeto should get a shot before Sean. I honestly, as much as a Sugar fan, I don't totally disagree with that. But I think the UFC's wet dream scenario is
Yeah, Jillian.
they probably honestly don't really care who wins, Cejudo or Aljo. Maybe rather Cejudo win. I don't think they really care that much. I think their dream scenario is whoever wins fights Sugar. Sugar beats that person, and then Cheeto beats Sandhagen, and you get this incredible rematch title fight. I think that's the wet dream of this UFC.
Definitely.
Do you see what Marab did?
Did I see? No, I don't think so.
So Marab, I guess they asked Marab. He wears a chain with the Georgian flag on it, and I guess UFC was like, "Please stop wearing that to events and whatnot." So he just went and got the Georgia flag tattooed on his bicep or his chest.
All right.
Wow.
I mean, that's kind of a baller move. You can't stop me from representing my country.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's we've seen that for a while now. They don't want any
flags.
But I think if Chandler walks in with an American flag, they don't give a fuck.
I don't think they will let him walk in with the American flag.
I do think they have stopped that now.
Okay, then never mind.
I actually don't think they would. Remember when we went to Long Island?
Because Gaethje was doing it too, and they weren't letting them. And then we watched the Leech get
that was
the
crazy.
China flag just ripped. From
I think the Leech just coached through it in,
knockout.
And he grabbed it immediately, and we looked and we saw Dana literally pick up a phone. We were like, "Oh, that's got to be about the flag," and some guy just grabbed it, stole it from him, and ran in the back.
The Leech looked around, and the guy just looked down and was like, "Nope."
He literally took the thing he grabbed it, took it like a hand, just stuffed it in here, just ran straight to the back.
Yeah, that's
oh my god,
it's an interesting time in the world. It's just, I don't know what the right move on that stuff is.
I'm really excited for tomorrow's card, Jarrett, but I don't think it's a dream card. I think it's a great card. I don't know if it's a dream card.
Yeah,
I would
agree.
Fair.
That's fair to say.
There's a lot of like
dream fight in the main event.
I think the main event. That's what I was going to say. The main event's a dream fight.
Yeah. The co-main event is even like a
good fight.
I don't know if you call it dream fight. It's a great fight.
I have always dreamed of Parker Porter being on the main card.
You have. Let's get into it. Let's start with the early
I told you guys
prelims.
before we started the show, Parker Porter.
Also, there's so many fights on this card. Oh, well, you know what? No, it's just the way it's formatted on Google is a little strange. So I'm going to pull up the official UFC ranking of the order of the fights here. Early prelims, first fight of the night will be Zubaria Tukagov versus Elvis Brenner.
All
Zubaria, an infamous rival of Team McGregor, has to go against him 100% of the time he fights. I can't believe he's still in the UFC.
Yeah. And he doesn't fight a lot, but I think he's just going to kill this guy.
He got his opponent dropped out of the Abu Dhabi card. Yeah, I think he's a parlay piece.
Yeah. I mean, he's like he's up to like minus 550.
Yeah, I think parlay piece. He should win.
If you don't remember, he jumped into the cage after McGregor Khabib to try to ambush McGregor. I believe he got cut immediately. If memory serves me right, he got cut immediately, and then Khabib was like, him and someone else got cut, and then Khabib was like, "They are my brothers. You have to bring them back, or else I never fight again." And Dana was like, "All right, you forced my hand."
Even on the embedded, like him and Islam were literally like shoulder to shoulder cutting weight together.
Yeah. So he's been part of the crew forever. I mean, he's a ride or die. He'll jump into the cage to brawl with you. Blake Builder versus Shane Young in the next fight. The first New Zealander on the card being Shane Young in the featherweight division.
I like Shane. I already bet him. That being said, I think it's like Shane's kind of been disappointing in the UFC so far. But this is one of those situations where, and I think this is like, it doesn't happen a lot, but I think we have a situation here where there's home cage advantage. Like Blake Builder has to come all the way from California to go to Australia.
Contender series, making his
debut.
Yeah.
And Shane Young's like, he's an Australian guy, and it's his crowd. I think UFC's he's the first Australian on the card. I think they're setting it up for like this is Shane Young's fight to win. He could still lose. I mean, he's minus 135 now. I got him at like minus 125, but I really like him.
How is his opponent on the Contender series?
He was good. If I remember, I think he's like a boxer wrestler type. What I remember,
he submitted to win, right?
He might. I know he's like.
He looks familiar, but I don't remember his fight.
I do remember his fight briefly. Because I know his stature is pretty like. I think he's probably thicker and shorter than Shane Young is, off the top of my head.
Oh, you know where that Blake Builder's from? Blake, he won by rear naked choke against Alex Morgan on Contender Series. And he's from CFFC. He was the champ there. But this guy, like, he gets caught a lot. His chin's kind of shaky. Even in CFFC, he kind of caught some on the chin. But we'll see. I mean, he's definitely talented. He didn't look great in that Contender Series fight, but still got the win, round 1 submission. But I think that was a very back and forth fight for the 3 minutes that it happened.
Yeah.
I just think a guy like Shane, I agree. I haven't bet it yet. I think that's gonna be a play for me, probably Shane Young. I agree with Jay, just kind of like not like he's sort of, I guess I'll go with like he's supposed to win in the sense that like what Jack Mack said, like it's like he's home guy, kind of being set up like you're getting a debut guy. He struggled some. Like he needs to win really bad. He needs if he loses, he might be
100%. No, this is a big fight for him, and I think Blake will get another one because they're like, we sent you out to Australia. Like
he'll get another one, I would think.
In the women's strawweight division, Loma Lukbunmi versus Elise Reed. I hope I said Loma's name right. She's a Thailand fighter.
Loma, yeah. She actually trains with Volkanovski in Volkanovski's Thailand gym, or gym that in Bali, I think. What's it called? The fuck. It was on when he went on Embedded.
It's like Tiger Muay Thai or whatever.
Not Tiger Muay Thai. He has a different one. I think it's called like Boom Muay Thai.
Tiger Muay Thai, he definitely trains at.
Because it's in like fuck it Thailand.
Yeah. Bangtao.
Bangtao Muay Thai.
Yeah.
So I like Volkanovski owns the gym.
Yeah, it's in.
So I think Loma's just better everywhere. That being said, I think Elise Reed does have decent striking. I'm probably going to end up having Loma in a parlay piece. Loma late, round 2, round 3 could look good. But yeah, bang, yeah.
Do you guys cross sport parlay?
Rarely.
I rarely will. Get nuts though. Why not? Responsibly, of course.
You're sleeping on Australia cards. They're amazing. I don't think we're sleeping on it. We called it a great card. We said it's not a dream card. I don't think it's card of the year material, but it's a great card.
It's a dream fight, good card.
Yeah.
Look at this parlay this guy just gave us. Hertz INT Chiefs. What's that? That pays 10. Like
it's over. Yeah, it's over 10 to 1. No,
100
to 1. Yeah.
I mean,
just under 103 to 1.
Like, good luck. I hope it hits for you, bro.
Yeah, God bless.
So I like Loma. Elise Reed kind of just like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna bet it. I don't think. I'm not super like.
Loma's a pretty heavy favorite.
Like I like it. Do I think she's gonna win? Probably. But.
Loma's looking better recently.
Jack Jenkins makes his debut in a featherweight bout against Don Shainis.
Jack Jenkins inside the distance all day.
Yeah.
I think Don Shainis.
Another Australia guy, Jack Jenkins.
The guy that can actually wrestle from Australia a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don Shainis came from Cage Titans. Cage Titans is in our chat sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Cage.
So, I mean, shout out Cage. Yeah. Shout out Cage Titans. But I think this is just I mean, Don Shana started his career in the UFC by Sadiq Youssef. Did you see Sadiq Youssef's video?
His
Which
breakdowns?
This today for this card?
Not today's, no.
So this one was so funny because he was like Jack Jenkins versus Don Shainis. Me and Don Shainis had a war. I'm still recovering from. Sadiq Youssef submitted him in 35 seconds. So disrespectful, but I really like Jack Jenkins. Jack Jenkins inside the distance. Jack Jenkins parlay piece. I think he's gonna knock him out. Maybe even submission, but I think it's just all day Jack Jenkins.
Yeah, inside the distance.
I'm big on him.
Inside the distance, straight play, parlay piece.
And also, damn, Don Shainis went to Bridgewater State. That's crazy. He's a Massachusetts guy, but he's coming all the way from Massachusetts, New England guy. I mean, he has a fighter's chance, of course. It's not like I would be shocked if he won, but I'm really big on Jack Jenkins. I think he's my favorite spot of the card.
Oh, wow. Then we move on to the normal prelims. Another Australian, a guy that's been in the UFC for a long time, a guy I like, Jamie Malarkey in the lightweight division, returns against Francisco Prado from Argentina.
All right.
I don't remember Prado much either. Is he making his debut?
You don't.
Yeah, it's his
He's
debut.
Okay.
He's like from Argentina. He's
Yeah.
fought only in Argentina.
He was
Was he contender
he was a
series?
late replacement.
Yeah.
Well, I was-
No. This is his first fight.
Okay.
He only has fought like in Argentina, I think.
Interesting.
Which I mean has a decent MMA scene, but nothing phenomenal. Can you even name an Argentinian fighter?
Yeah.
The one girl fighter, Silvana.
Yes.
Gomez Suarez, I think? Guido Canetti.
Yeah,
Guido Canetti.
Is he? He's also.
He is. He's
right?
Argentinian.
He is, right?
There's a big guy I'm forgetting that fought fucking Johnny Walker.
Argentinian.
I think he's Argentinian.
Ponzinibbio,
Ponzinibbio?
that's right.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Ponzinibbio.
Disrespect. That was
Ponzinibbio.
disrespect. I mean, that being said, I mean Jamie Malarkey can get caught.
He's tough though.
I know because that Michael Johnson fight, like he could have like
I know, but who did he lose to? Oh, it was Jalen Turner, I think.
yes.
But he took a
Yes.
Nothing
Jalen
wrong
Turner
with that though.
Was beating the brakes of him, and he did not quit. It took like 10 minutes where he was getting eaten alive, and he just stayed in there. I just Prado. It's funny. I actually watched I was trying to dig up like some old shit of him a little bit, and I just don't see how he's like very raw.
I mean, he's 8-0 from an Argent. Like you can't really even find his fights.
I feel like he's kind of like, if you looked at his tapology, he's kind of like what you expect. Like
Samurai Fight House.
like he just hits hard, but he's like very raw.
Oh, we got the cheese roller in the chat. The steamroller's
Cheese
brother.
roller.
He said
Cheese
fight to go the distance for this fight.
Like doesn't go the distance.
Fight doesn't
I
go
would
the
agree.
distance.
Oh, this is Jamie Malarkey. Like
Yeah.
Dude has
I
a
think-
100% finish rate, 11-0.
I like Malarkey.
It's a good bet, yeah.
I like Malarkey inside the distance. I like Malarkey as a parlay piece. He's a tough dude. I just think unless he gets knocked out, unless he gets randomly just,
Also, it's a hometown. Like I think I wouldn't be shocked for like on these cards are these opening them in the early prelims and prelims if these hometown fighters go sweep the board.
Really? Wow.
You said you think they will sweep the board, the hometown guys here?
On the early prelims and prelims.
I wouldn't be shocked. Yeah,
Maybe Kulabau may.
Kelly said could be like Ferreira, Greg Rodriguez. I said that would be my only concern.
That's my thing.
That'd be my only. That would be like I think that's the one path to losing.
But
If you
let's
get
not
Malarkey just
forget
getting caught.
Ferreira had a much better resume coming into his
Fair,
fight.
no,
Yeah.
true. It's true.
And he was known as the Brazilian Hulk. Like
He also had a big knockout contender series.
Yeah.
I mean,
But all the-
I like Malarkey. I'm a fan of Malarkey.
They did do a good job, by the way, as I'm looking down the card, putting together like an Australia versus the world card.
yes, yeah.
Because we have Australia versus Argentina versus Brazil versus Armenia versus Lithuania,
America.
obviously, Russia, obviously, and then Jamaica, which
Yeah.
is like, holy shit, that is an Australia versus the world card. And they famously started doing that with Brazilian cards back in the day. And it's always been one of the best way to put together a card. Another Australian fight. All of the prelims are Australian fights. In the flyweight division, Clayton Rodriguez versus Shannon Ross.
Oh, sorry. I said they were going to sweep. Shannon Ross isn't winning.
Yeah, Clayton. I think Clayton easy.
Shannon Ross and I understand he was hurt or something in that Contender Series.
He was fighting with the appendix, I believe.
But Shannon
Oh
Ross,
yeah, which
he basically got he was fighting with he
That's
fought
insane.
well,
he
but he was a big dog. Got knocked out.
he got KO'd like 4 times.
I
in
know.
that fight. But he is a tough guy because he kept getting back up.
I know he was fighting with like a ruptured appendix.
that's insane.
That
though.
was- that-
My
that was
appendix
really-
started rupturing.
That
I had to
was
get it out.
why
It was bad.
That was why Danny gave him a shot because he was like, this sick bastard fought through a ruptured
Yeah.
appendix. But yeah, I think
It
Clayton
could kill you.
I also think Clayton. I can't remember if he's fought. I know he dropped. He was a big favorite. He dropped to
Vergara.
but I think that was a mistake. I think
It was a split
I think
decision.
I think he's a lot better than that. I think he runs through Ross here.
Me too. I have him in a parlay.
Although Ross is tough. Like he get knocked out 3 times, he'll still get back up.
Yeah.
So, he is tough. But I think Clayton handles him pretty well. Also a parlay piece because I feel like that could be a scary one where like I'm gonna bet inside the distance also. But I think that could be a scary one where like he like 30, like 26 of them, and you just like get fucked.
Yep.
Yeah. Next fight is a pick'em. Josh Kulabau versus Melsick. Jesus Christ, this last name.
It's like
Bagdasrian.
Yeah, I think it's
Bagdasrian?
close enough.
Yeah.
All
right. So
I'm not the best with names. I'm sorry.
It's a tough fight.
Melsick,
So I
if
took
you're out
Kulabau, but the more the week goes by, I don't know. I just think Kulabau, this Medisk guy or Melsick guy, his cardio's a little suspect when it gets later into the fight. If Kulabau can get out of that first round and I think he hits a little bit harder. I think he can take over late. I got Kulabau earlier in the week. I don't know if I would really still recommend it though. I'm looking for a little like maybe some more Kulabau money to come in so I can like hedge it a little bit on Melisk, but I don't know. I keep going back and forth, but Kulabau impressed me in his last fight.
Yeah, he did. Was it Siwo Choi?
Yeah, it was a split, but he dominated.
He was a dog. He was like a plus like 200 dog, and he beat him like pretty easily. That's a tough fight. I think it's lined like pretty fairly.
Cheese Roll says Melsick is one of the best kickboxers in the division.
His kicks are great. The reason I would like, I don't know if I'm gonna bet it. The reason I would lean Kulabau is because I think it's a coin flip fight in the hometown judges.
Yeah,
that's like,
always a good gamble.
I really have no like true feel on it.
Another bit of a tough name here. Modestas Bukakas.
Yep.
Comes in against Tyson Pedro. Modestas is a big underdog. Tyson Pedro minus 250 around there. That's what it says on the UFC website. Barstool Sportsbook might be slightly different odds. Another one I feel like set up to send the main card.
I don't hate Modestas though.
He's in this. He got cut and then he won the Cage Warriors welterweight and now he's back again.
He won Cage Warriors
welterweight,
double champ.
Did you say?
I believe oh no, excuse me, bigger, like whatever.
I was gonna say light heavyweight, yeah.
But he left Cage Warriors as the double champ.
And was like not
impressive, very impressive.
I remember what's name was it Roundtree that knocked him out with the oblique kicks.
Oh yeah.
And then Jimmy Crute like murdered
him, and then Jimmy Crute sat next to him and put his hand around him.
The funniest thing, knocked him out and then just sat like this.
Yeah.
It was so
he literally like didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
But I don't know what they're doing with Tyson Pedro. They have fed him legitimately tomato cans.
Yeah.
Greatest manager in the UFC.
Like he has fought 3 guys who I believe are not in the UFC and had like no chance of saying. He fought Ike Villanueva, who was a dude who got signed. Basically, he was a COVID signing.
Yep.
He fought Henry Hunsucker, who literally went 0-3 in the UFC, was murdered in the first round by 3 Australian guys. Actually,
dude, that name too is
he literally just fought. He has 3 fights in the UFC. They're Tyson Pedro, Tai Tuivasa, and Justin Taffa.
So
I believe
they just fed him the down.
That guy's got something against Australians
I'm pretty
now.
sure Taffa was the 3rd one. It was an Australian guy or something, and he was knocked out in the first round. All 3 like in vicious fashion.
That's bad.
Pedro literally hurt him with a jab, and then just like front kicked him, and he just dropped. He should have put up a better fight than this. I honestly shout out Jesse Adams from like the Hurricane. He did win me money the one fight, but.
So the thing with Pedro is like he's come back, he's looked great. All first round finishes against bums.
Just good.
Yeah.
But like I can't get out of my mind like he's Mauricio Shogun Rua's second to last win in his career.
But he blew out his knee.
I know.
And he was winning the fight. And he blew out his knee.
And so my thing is, it's like Modestus just got signed. He probably won double champ. He did win double champ status in Cage Warriors. Was he partying? Did he win double champ status and went back to work to train even more? He may have gotten the call. He had to go fly all the way to Australia and now against Pedro. But the later this fight goes, it more favors Modestus.
You think?
Yeah. Because I think we haven't seen Pedro's cardio past the first round.
No, I mean, true.
Yeah.
But it's been a while. He could have been working on it. I think I'm just going to sit this one out. Should be interesting. Maybe Modestus laid a little sprinkle, but I don't have a huge read on this.
It's like I wish Modestus was like a bigger underdog, and I might be more interested.
Mm-hmm.
Like if he was plus like 250, 300,
yeah,
I think I would take a shot. 170, I don't think it's because I just think Pedro is much better. I think he just hits harder. He's got good kicks too. He's just huge.
He's
I
huge.
think he's a big 205, or he's a big boy. He's a physical guy. I don't know. I just don't like Modestus's chin. I feel like he's not super durable.
And then on to the main card. This is a really interesting main card when you look down at it. Because like I said, dream fight. And then you've got the Parker Porters. And we start off with Jimmy Crute versus Alonzo Menefield in the light heavyweight division. Pretty good fight. I do think this is... as Mincy would say, Vegas really nailed this one on the odds.
I'm going to be honest. I think they did.
Great job by the odds makers.
The odds makers really did a great job.
Vegas crushed it on this one.
Lined it perfectly.
I do think Jimmy Crute's going to dominate this one.
You know what? I've been going back and forth on this fight quite a bit. I just want to see the exact line on this fight right now.
On the UFC website.
We have it on our book. It's minus 186 plus 148 returning on Menefield. There's a part of me that wants to take a shot at Menefield.
Yeah, me too.
Even though I know Crute's a hometown guy. He needs some wins. Like he was on a great run, then he had some losses.
Yeah.
I don't want to say his chin's testy when Jamal Hill just hit him with a fucking laser.
Yeah.
That I think would have knocked out almost anybody. Although if you watch it is wild just how he literally got hit twice in his face like a balloon.
Yeah.
I was rewatching that the other day. I watched a few.
Jamal just did Rogan too. I don't think it's out yet, but
I saw that on Instagram. I watched a few of Crute's fights this week.
Crute?
I watched the Modestus fight. I watched him against Jamal Hill. I watched him against
Crute's interesting.
Anthony Smith.
I mean, when everyone was talking about Crute when he was younger as the next big thing.
I think the Anthony Smith fight, if they thought that was going to be he wins that fight, he's top 5.
And I will say, Crute's a fucking tough guy because his leg pretty much split, and he was I'm still fighting.
He was getting takedowns.
Yeah, he was still getting takedowns. That being said, I do think there's a chance Menefield sleeps him. I'm not paying the price on Crute, but he could go out here and look minus 500.
It wouldn't shock me because I do think overall he's more well-rounded. Because it's weird. He has some more submissions in him. Menefield it's funny, with some bums, he showed some pretty good wrestling. I don't think he's going to be able to just hold Jimmy Crute on the mat. I'd be
okay.
For long periods of time. That would surprise me. But Menefield has done a little bit more of that. But we've also seen his chin be, OSP murdered him with a check left hook.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So he definitely can be hit. It's a tough fight. I'll lean Menefield, not super confident. I might just for shits and gigs put a little something on him, or maybe on him by knockout or something. But I think it's a good fight. Some
people in the chat are talking about the drops off this card that kind of Logan says killed it. I don't know if it killed it, but it definitely hurt it. Kai Kara France and Robert Whitaker. If they were
Big
both
time.
on this card,
I mean, we're gonna have a Whitaker Costa,
and it would have been Kai Kara France, Alex Perez. That was a good fight.
That's right. Yeah.
And Mike Mahoney says, "What happened to Kai Kara France? I don't know if we ever figured out what the injury was.
I don't know.
It was on his end.
Yeah, it was. I believe. I don't think they said.
Yeah, they didn't.
The next fight is Justin Taffa versus Parker
Here we go.
Porter, the heavyweight division. Are you betting Parker Porter?
Yes, I already did.
You have to be, right? Yeah.
You have to. Justin Taffa is not good. The only reason Justin Taffa is in the UFC is because he has cool tattoos.
They are cool.
Very
UFC has been wanting to push Justin Taffa for so long. This should be the first fight of the night, but it's on the main card, and they're going to try to get the people going hometown guy Justin Taffa, and Parker Porter from West Hartford, Connecticut is going to go in there and he's going to piece him up. And in the second round, he's going to get on top, and it's going to be one of those where he's just in mount, and it's just boom, 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 boom. It's going to be, people are going to be tweeting about this, like, what the fuck is this fight? But guess what? Parker Porter is going to get the job done. Parker Porter, let's do it. Parker Porter, Porker. He's the future. The title run starts now.
I'll ride with Jack on that one. I feel like I have to stand with him in solidarity. It would be rude to go with Justin Taffa in this fight.
I don't mind being rude. Taffa round one.
No.
That's the rudest you could be.
Taffa with a
blitz.
blitz.
If Taffa round one,
Taffa with a blitz.
I'm gonna be like this.
Oh no.
Parker Porter, and by the way, I know what you're thinking.
The only man, Joseph Taffa, the only man to ever miss heavyweight limit.
Yeah.
And when he did, he landed a vicious head kick knockout in the first round.
Yo, Jarrett, Porker is not gonna get. He's not gonna get knocked out, dude. This guy is wrestling. He's elite. Okay.
I will say this though: if Taffa doesn't knock him out in round one and beats him up, and it gets to the end of the round one, bet Parker Porter live immediately.
Yes, he's Parker Porter, tough guy.
I will say,
and he's gonna be there, and he's gonna get going. But I'm really excited for this fight. I may be the only one excited, and I know what you're saying. Oh, Jack, you've been talking about all the long flights. Connecticut to Australia is far away, 100%. But Parker Porter's been there for a week. He's been looking good. He's been working out. I've been following him on Instagram. He still does not. I've messaged him. He just ignores me. So
does he read them?
No, it's just
message him again.
Okay, I'm gonna do it right now.
Message him on the show.
Yeah.
Just like a simple, like maybe good luck for the fight this weekend. Like Connecticut's behind you.
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
Hey, okay. Logan DeWolf said if you bet $100 and Parker Porter's every fight.
Yep, look at him. There he is.
You'd be up 12.
And Bisping.
Nice.
Yesterday he took a photo with Oliveira. Maybe this is it. No. Yeah, fight week, Parker Porter. All right, I'm gonna hit him up right now again.
Guy's a legend.
Honestly, if you want to do like Parker Porter, like round decision or round 2 or round 3, that's not crazy.
Connecticut State.
Taffa round 1. Taffa inside the distance. Taffa.
We need a win after Glover.
Yeah, you do. Glover, every time I pass Bravo Pizza, I see that picture of him and Alex.
So for those of you who don't know, which is all of you, there's a pizza down the road from us that Dave gave an amazing score that's, in my opinion, not very good.
Dave gave an amazing score to Bravo?
You didn't know this?
No.
I didn't know that either.
A3.
No.
Or like a 7-9.
Their pizza's not that good.
I don't want to trash Bravo. I like the people that work there.
It's okay. It's like not.
Their normal slice is not great. If you get their square slices, those are fire. Upside down slice. They make a Detroit style.
Kate swears by it.
Yeah, it's very good.
Now, I think Bravo Pizza is very like a good slice. All that being said, there's this photo outside there
on their front door.
On the front door that says "Eat like a champ." And after Pereira knocked out Adesanya at MSG, the pizza they got for him
was Bravo.
Glover Teixeira gave him a Bravo.
It's the closest place to the Garden.
Yeah, they probably just said like, "Go get pizza."
Pizza Suprema.
That's on the other side though, so someone probably left on the 7th Ave side.
That's true.
It was just like, "Oh, I'll turn this way." But yeah, every time I pass it, I'm like, "There's the champs."
I think the
crowd gonna play factor. Nope, not for fucking Parker Porter. He doesn't care, dude.
I think the laptop needs to be plugged in.
Does it?
This is your Mac will sleep soon unless plugged into.
Oh, geez. All right, I have a charger in my bag.
So Taffa round 1. Now we get into the next, honestly, probably where the fights where people start to get real excited. Jack Della Maddalena, the big time prospect, the kid from Perth, the hometown boy.
This is an interesting
facing on
fight.
Randy Rude Boy Brown from Jamaica, not only Jamaica the country, but Jamaica Queens as well.
Yeah, double Jamaica.
He was from Jamaica. It's a crazy story. I think he was born maybe in like Massachusetts or something, or his family got deported, had to go back to Jamaica the country, and then they moved back to Jamaica Queens, and he went to Jamaica High School in Queens.
Just a Jamaica guy.
Shout out Rude Boy, New York boy. I remember we talked about this. I think we started to off camera a little bit last week. I guess I'll go first. I really like Jack. This isn't like me dumping on Jack. I just think the line is very wide. I think the competition he's beaten is solid. The first guy he fought was a bum. Next to like Eve or Emmy, and then Danny Roberts, like, okay, not great. I think this is a big step up. If Jack worked him, like, I would not be surprised whatsoever. I'm willing to take a shot here on Randy Brown plus like 250, 270. Be like, hey, like show me what you got.
Yeah.
He's big, he's long, he's athletic. He's won like 6 of the last 7 fights. The only thing that scares me is Jack's such a good boxer. I could see him just like working the body, just piecing him up. Wouldn't shock me at all. His striking's better. Randy's got to use his range, use his kicks. But he's beaten some pretty good guys. If this was like minus like 150 like on Della Maddalena, I would take it no problem. But if you're gonna give me close to 300 plus on Randy Brown, I'll take that shot. If I lose, I lose.
I'm with you more than I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna bet it. I kind of see in my mind when I close my eyes, Della just blitzing him. But Randy has the distance. If he can control that distance, you aren't wrong. And I mean, Randy is like, if you wanted to build a UFC fighter, Randy is built perfectly. Della's not bad either, but yeah, this is an interesting fight. I'm excited to watch it. I don't think I'm gonna have a bet on it though.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, when I saw the opening line, I was surprised. I thought Randy Brown would have got a little more respect. I think I'm wondering if they're overhyping Jack, or we're gonna find out, is he that good?
Yeah.
If he goes and looks minus,
if he blitzes Randy Brown,
if he blitzes Randy Brown, like if he goes and knocks him out,
he's that good.
First, second round, I'm gonna be like, damn, he's fucking good, really good.
And then
I would basically say his next fight should be a ranked guy.
Yeah.
In my opinion, if he just runs through Randy Brown,
I think
God
you give him a
bless him,
rankings fight after
monster.
that. Yeah. The co-main event for the interim featherweight championship, Yair Rodriguez takes on Josh Emmett. We've been talking about this one in the group chat. Lee's been sending his kind of take on it, his breakdown on it. Very talked about fight. I think I'm leaning Josh Emmett.
Okay, so I'm Yair, and
I love Yair too.
I do think, I mean, I was watching Andrew and Magic's show yesterday, and it is like, if you look at Yair's run, it's a little bit lucky. Obviously
the
Korean zombie and then
Boom.
Ortega was looking good in that fight, and then Ortega kind of the eye poke situation with Stevens and whatnot. But I still think we are going to see a situation where Yair's just going to play the range, use the leg kicks. I think the line movement is really suggesting that Emmett may come in a little injured. Emmett's 38.
Yeah, he's old.
Yeah, he is.
But that being said, Emmett could come in and just say, fuck it, I'm going to get that shot. And will Yair clip him? I don't know. So Emmett, I have I got him at minus 165. Yair, 1.65 units to 1-1. I'm not that confident. I may end up regretting it, but I still, even hearing everything, I think we may see a situation where Yair just, he kind of pieces him up, and Emmett tries to find that big right hand, and it just doesn't connect throughout the entire fight. But I've been wrong before.
Yeah, I guess I'll make my case. I was saying in the group chat that as the weeks, I think I was on the air early in the week, and as the week's gone on, I've been like slowly switching to Emmett. I was watching more Yair tape, watching Emmett tape. I hate. I'm more doing this to kind of portray my argument, not to trash Yair. Kind of go off what you said, like he really hasn't won like a real fight in like a while. Like he basically got a lot of respect for the Ortega fight was Ortega just his shoulder popped out in the first round.
Yep.
So he wins that way. What fight was before? Oh, the Holloway fight where he basically got credit for just getting beat up for 5 rounds.
Yeah.
I mean, even Holloway was getting takedowns on him. If Emmett wants to wrestle, he could win this fight like easily. In my opinion.
But when's the last time we've seen Emmett wrestle?
No, I think there may be a time he shoots a takedown. I wouldn't be shocked if he didn't shoot one takedown.
Yep.
Like you said, we really haven't seen it. There's rumor injuries about this hip. That would be a problem, and I agree with that. Seems to be that might be why the line's going up. But even go back to, like you said, like the TKZ fight, he was losing. He lands a prayer at the buzzer. His last real win was like Jeremy Stevens in like 2019.
Yeah.
Like before that was he beat BJ Penn, what I think was his last fight when he was just like a shell of himself.
Mm-hmm.
Like he really hasn't won much recently. Where listen, and I'll play devil's advocate against even myself. I mean, I thought Emmett lost the fight to Cater. It was really close.
Yeah, I think we all did.
Really close fight, coin flip, could have went either way. I thought he lost that fight, but he's shown the dog to the injury. Like, if you remember, like the Burgos fight, like he literally blew his knee out in the first round and pieced up Burgos. Like was dropping him, who's got a chin of steel. I mean, he hits like a truck. We've seen like the Michael Johnson knockout, the Ricardo Lamos knockout, which is one of the more vicious knockouts. That might be one of the most like slept on knockouts in the history of like UFC.
Yeah.
That is a vicious knockout. And this week, going off what Jack makes it 2 weeks, 38. There's 0% chance he gets another title shot if he loses this fight.
Yeah.
Or I'd be absolutely shocked if he did. Shocked. He's talked about this week. I'm coming forward with every punch with the intention to like basically take his head off. I think he goes for it. I think if you're gonna it's gonna have to where it's like plus like 150. I'll take a shot at Emmett.
To put into context, Yair's last win, Dominic Reyes versus Chris Weidman headlined that card.
Say it again.
Dominic Reyes versus Chris Weidman was the headliner of the card.
That was
Yair got
Stevens?
his last win. Yeah, that feels
His
like
last
a lifetime
his
ago.
last, yeah, just like which. And listen, I'll give him like I don't want to totally just discredit him for like landing the shot to TKZ was awesome, and listen, like if somebody gets hurt in your fight, like you win, I get it, but it just feels like he's had a lot of balls bounce his way, and I don't know. Like I said, the Holloway thing. He got a lot of credit. If you look at his face, looked like roadkill after.
Yeah,
he got murdered. He was getting takedown by Holloway, like full mount, like just like a lot of things, like passing mount, like just a lot of stuff that gives me trouble. But he also is much more athletic and like elusive, so he could stay on the outside. He could use his kicks.
My biggest thing, the leg kicks, and then the athleticism, especially if we don't see Emmett wrestle, staying away from those big shots may be the key. But that being said, we saw Emmett piece up Burgos on a torn knee. So, yeah, I mean, I still think Yair's the side, but Emmett, I mean, if he wins, it's also a great story. I would love it for him. But if Yair wins, I'll be the first to say, I mean, they feel like he's on like a TCU title run where it feels like everything, like they're not a bad team, but everything broke their way.
I was gonna say I want to say this the most respectful way possible. I don't think there's ever been two people in a interim title fight that were maybe less deserving than the two.
Yeah, I know.
Guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I feel really mean
people
saying that. These are two guys that literally like Yair has literally won a fight off injury, just losing fights.
I mean, Calvin Kattar should be in this fight.
And then like Emmett to me lost that fight to Kattar. He's like, I don't know. That's why I agree. I would like to see Kattar Yair personally, but obviously then Kattar takes the short fight against Allen, he fucks up his leg. That was unfortunate. Like I said, I feel disrespectful saying it, but I just think it's the truth. Like you usually think when you think of two guys, when you think of two guys coming into a title fight, you're thinking big. Like what? And Emmett, to his credit, on a 5-fight win streak, so maybe I'm a little harsh on him. Maybe it's more towards Yair. But I think it's just because the Kattar fight was so close, which he even addressed in his press conference. Like he was like, "Listen, if the team wins the conference championship game in football by 1 point, does it mean they shouldn't be there?"
No, I agree. No.
And I thought that was a fair answer. I respect that. And I agree with you with like Jake Greenberg saying there's probably some other contenders that I think people see in the featherweight that could beat these guys. Fair, but they've been in the top 5, so I don't know. It should be a good fight. I'm hoping at least.
So yeah, like 100%. If Yair wins this or Emmett, like a guy like Topuria or Evelev could go up and just dominate.
Yeah, I hope Topuria gets the Ortega fight.
That would be sick. I mean, I think Ortega. Let's say, like if Yair wins this, Ortega is looking right at that championship belt as like 1 fight away because it's a rematch of, and then you could even do it in Mexico. Imagine
that'd be crazy.
Mexico versus Mexico. We saw it in Long Island. That it was massive.
Yep.
Obviously, there was like you can give Yair a little bit of credit, but I mean, that was unfortunate for Ortega. And then from there, that would be sick. So if I'm Ortega, I'm looking at this. I'm like, man, I'm still very close. So and also he's on the grind now where he's got to he broke up with his girl. He's got to you got to show the world. Yeah.
And also just the what was I just gonna say? I feel stupid. I was gonna say something. I forgot it.
You were gonna say Islam Makhachev?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Islam. What a segue.
The main event, Islam Makhachev defends his lightweight title against the featherweight champion, Alexander Volkanovski. We've been going back and forth talking about this all week. I said right after our last show, I think I'm going to place a responsible wager on Alexander Volkanovski. The whole week I've been trying to convince myself that this is not even a smart move, but a plausible outcome. Maybe it could happen. I'm trying to visualize how it could happen. I got to be dead honest. I don't see a route to victory for Volkanovski in this other than like landing a big shot and knocking him out. I see a lot of routes to victory for Islam Makhachev. I'm worried.
No, I agree with you. My brain after watching Islam fight Charles, I was like, oh, I'll bet Islam every time he fights forever.
Yeah.
What makes this fight so special, I think, is that obviously we did see Islam get clipped like very early in his UFC career. I'll say that's a fluke at this point. I think he's proven that's a fluke.
Yep.
So if you take that out, it's just hard. This fight, it's like almost hard to break down because you're used to both guys just being dominant.
Yeah.
So it's hard to imagine like somebody's going to lose this fight.
It's crazy.
It's like hard to imagine like one of them's going to lose. It's a crazy thing about
the way that they win fights, like you said, is so dominant that like, is someone going to get dominated in this fight?
Even though like my brain like agrees with you that I think there's a pretty good chance that Islam dominates him. It's still hard for me to visualize Volk just getting
dominated.
Like it's hard. Like I'm used to him just piecing everybody up, being very aggressive, quick hands. Like just, I mean, what he did to Holloway in that last fight was one of the best performances we might like ever see. Truly incredible,
Oliveira,
flawless.
What? Oliveira?
No,
in the last fight?
Volk.
No,
or Volk.
I was
Gotcha.
the performance against Holloway was like legitimately flawless.
I thought you were talking about Islam.
One of the best we've ever seen. That was great.
I was going to say Islam against Oliveira was like not as flawless a performance, but when you dominate someone like that, insane.
I know, but then you look at Islam and just what he's done and just how much bigger he is. He's already talking about going up to 170. Look, you just look at him, he's a monster. But I will say this, I noticed a lot this week. Volk is getting very, very annoyed that I think he feels disrespected by Islam personally. That Islam is just being like, oh, he's short guy. He's like when someone brings up Volk winning, Islam just smirks, and I could tell Volk's getting sick of it.
Yeah.
He was talking about the press conference, and he's sick of it. He's like, I'm just saying, like, every time I get brought up, it's like he's not taking me seriously. But these Russians, they do this weird thing where it's like he talks like that, but I know for sure, like in his mind and like his preparation, he took him very seriously.
Yeah.
Like I don't think Islam was just sitting on the couch eating chips, being like, "Oh, short guy, I go beat him." No, he was running mountains.
That doesning exist.
He was running mountains. He was grappling for like weeks straight. Like
There's no cheat meal for Islam.
No.
You know,
he even talked about like he was that after he fights, like pretty much Monday, he's like just itching to go to the gym.
I believe it. That's all he knows. Like that's all of those Dagestan wrestlers know.
Yeah, I mean, I think Islam's gonna win. I do. I love Volk so much. We had him in here. He was awesome.
I do think he's gonna finish him too. I think he'll submit him.
do too.
Guys,
fight doesn't go the distance.
Guys, this is short guy.
This is
very short guy. He couldn't see him at UFC 280. He couldn't see him in the crowd. He's a very short guy. Islam's going to take him to deep ocean, dominate him. This isn't like we're making like we want to feel like, oh, Volk plus 300. I have to take it. No, this is very short guy. Islam going to take him down, dominate, smash.
You're probably right.
Round 1, round 2, smash, and he'll be like, oh, it's like this is nothing against Volk, but this is going to be domination. Islam smash round 1, round 2, take him to deep ocean.
You're probably right, but
wrestling in Australia.
I watched.
I've watched
all Olympics.
I've watched every wrestling competition.
No Australians,
brother. No Australians. There's not one. There's not one Australian in. Brother, I haven't seen any of them. Number one, pound for pound. Now, if we get to a situation where I'm very excited to see Islam against the likes of Dariush, Sarukian, but this is the one where he's going to smash, and we're going to be like, and also I'll say this, I think we're going to look at Volk or Islam after this fight and be like, man, his striking is very, very good.
You think he's going to like put that striking to use in this fight?
Yes.
Huh. I think he's going to go for a takedown right away.
Absolutely.
I think he's going to shoot, grab him down, get back up, shoot
He don't
again.
want to just like sit and just strike with Volk.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to strike.
He's number one.
Faster.
Number one.
I honestly, speaking of what you said, I think Dariush should give him a run for his money, but that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he beat him. I just think Dariush's skill set matches up with Islam well.
Do you think Makhachev has a call out in mind like he did last time?
No, I think if that fight is made, I think it's clearly just if he wins, he gets the winner of Charles Dariush.
Yeah.
Just makes all the sense in the world. Even I went back and watched because watch for Islam tape. I was watching even the fight with Charles. Charles did pretty well in the first round. He got up from takedowns. He did some scrambling. It wasn't like he was just getting dominated. He just got clipped and then just submitted real fast.
Yeah.
Islam's phenomenal, but I don't think I think there's somebody I think the guys like the Sarukians and the Dariush and the Gamrats could roll around with him a little bit.
When Islam takes him to deep ocean, you please come to me and say thank you.
But Volkan's not a quitter, though.
He's going to take
No,
him.
you've seen it against Ortega.
It.
He's going to take him.
He was in the deepest of oceans. He was in Mariana's fucking trench with Ortega.
No, Ortega, small arms. Small arms. Islam, big arms.
You're not going to say that next time he's in here.
No, I'm not. But he's
Disrespecting
no.
Spinning back.
No. There's levels to this, brother. There's levels. No,
I do love Mike Mahoney just wrote Jack McGuire Madoff.
Yes. Number one. We go alhamdulillah. God gave me everything, brother.
Actually, you'll like this, Jack, too. On the embedded yesterday, when he was cutting weight, it was him and Zabira. They were just looking at food videos, eating. He's like, I know even eat this after fight, brother. He goes, but right now I want. It was just some dessert, on Facebook, just it's one of those videos just making a fancy dessert.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
I completely agree with Jake Greenberg. He's very funny. Islam's very funny.
The wrestling shit about the guy who's do you stand by your take that Australia's no wrestling? Basically, he just said yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Also, when the guy was asking the question, he was smirking. He was like, brother, I don't think you understand. This guy, Islam, beats Jordan Burroughs wrestling. So what do you think? I saw it on Volk. He was working on getting back up. No, you don't get beat. No. Number one wrestling, number one pound for pound, number one strike.
Did you guys see he also forgave Dana about the promotion? He said, Dana, send me stat sheet. I understand now. So he gets how the promotion works. Do we want to put together a little parlay for this card?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? We haven't done one in a little bit. You want to start it with Islam?
The number one.
I think so.
The number one Irish Dagestani. Yes, sir. Number one.
Pound for pound, brother. Number one.
Let's go Islam Makhachev.
I say
Parker hasn't gotten back to me, but he's probably sleeping right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's getting ready. Should we go
Jimmy Croup?
I don't like Croup enough to put him in parlay.
All right. Tyson Pedro?
No.
All right.
How about this? How about you really like Jack Jenkins? But what about Jenkins? Would you
Malarkey?
Well, I was gonna Claydson.
Malarkey, Claydson, Islam, Tukarov.
So the five-legger of if we went.
Oh, my bad. No, I didn't mean no, that's true.
We can't go,
you rolled with me on Parker.
Come on, yeah.
All right, fine.
Loma.
We're gonna go Loma.
All right.
She's the most handsome fighter in the UFC.
A lot of early action. I'll go with it. So if we go Jack Jenkins, Loma, Jamie Malarkey, Claydson, and Islam, that's plus 275.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. There you go.
Honestly, we could maybe try with no college football. We might be able to get a boost. I'll talk to Jack about it.
All right, yeah. We'll obviously tweet it out from the Spinnin' Backfist account.
There might be a chance.
The only thing
There's
is
the Super Bowl. Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. Thank you for tuning in. We got almost 100 of you live right now, so no tech issues. Please leave us a like for that, at least just for that.
Also, we also, of course, have the podcast feed. If you just go subscribe to it, press play on
Spotify, Apple, anywhere you get your podcast.
Take the thing with the bar, make it seem like you listen to the whole thing.
Oh yeah, drag the bar to the end.
The bar to the end. Like, subscribe, leave 5-star rating.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Enjoy UFC tomorrow.
Logan Parker Porter. Yair should be a heavy favorite over the decision. Merchant Emmett, dude, he's had one of the best right hand.
He hasn't had one in a while, low key.
Yeah.